Nice face. Shark. Nice car. Shark. Nice building. Shark. 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 This is pretty good, really. But I know that the notebook in this game, it has magical powers. So I could make it rain sharks. Or I guess we could change things up a bit.
Yeah, let's see.
Aha! It needs something. Yes!
Hello again, everyone! This is Dr. Kendo, and I'm here with another Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor commentary, and this is where I create your favorite characters in the Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor, which is only a feature on the Wii U and PC versions of this game. I create whatever's most popular, most requested each week, but right now, we're actually sort of taking a slight deviation from that, and I'm gonna talk about this special collaboration episode, because I guess it was about 2 years ago, I actually did a collaboration with a Lego enthusiast on YouTube named Brick 101. I know that a lot of my subscribers were probably Brick fans back then, but if you're not now, I need you to become acquainted with Brick 101's YouTube channel. He does a lot of either custom builds or reviews of Lego and similar types of toys for things like Five Nights at Freddy's, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Pokemon, a lot of the franchises that we've covered on this channel as well. But him and I today have both released episodes on our channel because he did a special episode in his series called Brickverse, which is a lot like my Scribblenauts comedy series called Scribble Ventures. It's basically just comedic and clever skits and things. And so I got to voice Lord Garmadon, who we're going to be creating today in Scribblenauts Unlimited. So I voiced Garmadon as well as Cole over there because he did a Lego Ninjago movie kind of parody, I guess, you know, a Brickverse episode for that. So I'll have links in the description, and of course we'll be talking about it here. As I'm creating, I started off with a man as the source object for our creation of Garmadon, and so again, that's one of the characters that I voice over in his Brickverse episode for today. I hope you guys enjoy it. I did a little skit at the beginning of this, just really quick also, to kind of show you what that was like really quickly, a small snippet. But anyway, we got Fez right now, and Garmadon, it's funny because Garmadon has this really tall, you know, he's got 2 torsos in essence, practically is what it looks like, but you know, he's got all that armor on, so we actually did 2 Fezes. So Fez, just type that in twice, and one of them had a color pattern on it. Hopefully you saw that. The letter I we put down below that because Lego pieces, of course, you probably are familiar with what they look like. I don't know who wouldn't be, but basically just, you know, right below the torso and before the legs, we'll have that kind of thin line right there to distinguish the two. And so we put ribs down. That's, of course, rib bones. I guess I should mention, of course, as we're doing this, a glow stick is what I'm typing in right now, but Scribblenauts Unlimited, this is a game where this object editor feature you can use basically to create almost anything. I mean, your imagination is somewhat the limit, but there's also a few limitations in it. Like, for instance, we're putting down a glow stick, the ribs, the fez, all of those are considered a stamp in this game. And so you actually do have a limit to how many stamps you can put down to create an object. We got a mummy's torso coming up right here. So after you type in mummy, you can take the body of it. But basically, that's another stamp right there. And so because we have a limit, I usually try to work around that stamp limit by creating the objects with their head and the body separately. So that gives you enough stamps to just work on the head as a whole separate object and then attach the two later on. So it's honestly, it's kind of similar to Lego pieces. We just put down tassel twice. The tassel is actually 4 little tassels there, kind of just around the shoulder area on the body. Chick, we typed in after that. And of course, that's the chick, the human. It's kind of like chick or dude. And so it does give you the option for the animal chick, of course. We put down the back arm of that chick, and that's for the legs. So a minus sign coming up next for the foot. We did this actually back in 2015 when I created Emmett. So I am actually taking a little bit from my Lego movie Emmett creation. That was again when I worked with Brick 101 back then before in that collaboration. I did the legs that way. So kind of taking some techniques from that. Sash we can actually use right now for some more of this tie. You know, it's like he's got the belt on right there. Blue belt all tied right there at his waist. And so the sash kind of has it coming down over that. And we actually put one of the sashes attached to his body so that it won't really move on that. It's to our right side, but it's his left. But then the other side, that one's attached to his leg. A minus sign right here. Just put that up kind of in his midsection. There's some armor pieces and everything, straps or whatever. So that's for that. And then vegetarian, we can type in and take the vegetarian, either the male or female. It probably doesn't matter too much. We're going to take that front arm right here and paint it it mostly black, and we're going to do it twice on each side because Garmadon, of course, one of the special things about him also is that he's got 4 arms. It's pretty crazy and awesome, but the letter C is going to be for the hand. So that was also another technique from Emmett that we used, was using the letter C. Kind of makes for a good little Lego hand right there. A black mamba, and we're going to take the back tail piece of that black mamba. That'll be some shoulder pad armor right here. You know, Garmadon has that kind of samurai garb, and that's going to be the stamp limit right here. You can see it on screen. It says that the stamp limit was reached. So right now, that's the amount of stamps that you can use on one object. So again, we are going to do his head separately. Now, you could also create Lord Garmadon. Let's say you want to substitute those tassels for maybe his other garb where he has the robe pieces kind of coming down on both sides. You could do that instead of tassels if you want to. But this is the properties editor now. This is where you can edit the health of your object that you're creating, as well as kind of like the source audio, its weight, a lot of other things, what kind of weapon it shoots out, all that good stuff. So here, I like to read background information and fun facts about whatever we create in this series. And so I'm going to do this a little bit differently. It's a little bit of background info, but he's the baddest warlord of all time, apparently, Lord Garmadon, and I love this character. Without having really seen the Lego Ninjago movie in full, I can still say that for a few reasons. I have seen a lot of clips and everything in my research. He's voiced by Justin Theroux, who does an amazing job, but he's also voiced by me, of course, as I mentioned, in Brick 101's Brickverse parody episode for the Lego Ninjago movie, which you can see right now with the link in the description. And by right now, I mean after you're done watching this video, of course. So I love his voice, but I also just find the character hilarious. He has an affinity for sharks, and he can smell fear, and he makes his points by firing his generals from a volcano. He never stops trying to take over Ninjago City, and he hasn't really succeeded just yet, but you know what? Go over to Brick 101's Brickverse episode after this video, where I voice Garmadon and Cole, and find out if he succeeds this time. So thank you for that. We're going to start off with the head as the source object, because now if it's not obvious, we're going to create the head. We can actually use this samurai head right here. So I typed in samurai and took the head of the samurai to put basically over the head source object. I painted the head source object black just in case any of it does show up kind of behind what we're doing right now. An eraser. This is actually a stamp I've been using somewhat recently, several times. I like that it has 3 different color sections. So you can color the middle of that eraser or the 2 sides different colors, all 3 of those. So with that, I just wanted some pattern there in the middle, but then black color on the sides of that. So that looks good. We need to move this all down to basically be covering the head right here. That looks good. So I'm going to go with an 8-ball up next. This is kind of just, again, you try to figure out clever ways to, in this game, just like you can, if it really helps if you can type in one stamp that conveys maybe 2 or 3 different things in that one stamp. So the 8-ball sort of makes for this good little symbol there on the samurai hat or helmet that Garmadon wears. And it's like there are 2 circles within that. Jack Frost, we took the back arm right here. That'll be for some eyebrows here because Garmadon has these thick eyebrows. And so we got both of those down, paint them gray, of course. We'll go with a marshmallow up next. And the marshmallow we can put down below and behind the head, basically. That's going to be for the neck. So we are going to have his neck right here. That looks pretty good. Painted black. And up next, we can type in dot, and the dot will be for his eyes right here. So let's paint this kind of this orangish red color, and we'll put down 2 of them, of course. And I'm going to go with an eyebrow coming up next, and we're actually going to do this twice, but first we'll paint it this light gray color again, and put it there in between. Basically, it's where his nose is, in essence, just in between the eyes. And Irish moss we can use for, we can do it twice, painting it white to make it his teeth. I don't think his teeth are necessarily that pointy, but a little bit, you know, so it makes him look a little bit more sinister too, but it's a good stamp to kind of use for this because it looks similar to the teeth, and that's often what you have to do in Scribblenauts Unlimited. If anybody hasn't played this game before, or you're just seeing it for the first time and you don't know how it works, you know, I can't like custom create a stamp to use. I have to use any of the stamps. It's basically this game has any of the words in the dictionary that really aren't like certain nouns. I mean, like Santa is in the game, for instance, so that's a noun that'll work. But I guess I should say more so named characters, like, you know, if you try to type in a certain person from history, it might show up, but most kind of named nouns are not in this game for the most part. I'm sort of walking back because they do have characters like Don Quixote, and as I said, Santa Claus. But the point is, you have the dictionary, like this Kraken piece. We took a tentacle piece that's kind of near the very end of the tentacle, but just not the very end, so it's like just before it. Whenever you've got a head and a body separately, as I said, you know, to go within that stamp space limitation, on the head object here in the properties editor, you want to go down to the equipment tab and check off this circle or fill it in that says can be worn on the face like glasses. It's 2 from the bottom, and that'll actually actually make the head mostly work how it should be. We're going to name this, but I do have a few more details that I want to include now that I know that I still have some more stamp space to work with. So we've got the Garmadon head, we named it, and I'm going to go with a mango actually for the tongue right here. So we're going to need to kind of place this as best as we can and keep sizing and adjusting things around that. But this is looking good. I think that it's mostly finished. We'll go with a cuttlefish kind of for this, probably one of the last few detailed pieces of it. There's this kind of tentacle piece on the cuttlefish that's long and thin there at the top left corner, I would say. That's the one that we took, and so that's good. So we'll put that down twice sort of for this side. Okay, yeah, so there's one last cuttlefish piece that we can use, that same piece, and I'll put it up at the top just below the helmet for some more of this detail. So that's awesome, that Garmadon head. I love how that looks. Okay, so this is great. So we will now show you what it looks like when you attach the two. Of course, you basically just put the head object into the hands of the body object. It's like you're giving it any sort of object, like a sword or anything like that. It's kind of just like giving it an object. We put the head piece into its hands, but also notice we've got this walking shark mech that I'm inside of right now, and it can actually shoot out these little missiles and stuff. You could actually change its projectile if you want. Like, you could make it shoot out sharks if you wanted to. We got an angry, hostile, what am I going to make him fight? I just want to make him fight something. We'll just do a ninja in the spirit of Ninjago right here. But that's a Scribblenauts ninja, of course. So I've got Garmadon taking him on with no weapons right now. You could give him like a staff or something like that. Why not do that? Let's do black staff. We'll type that in and put that in the hands of our Garmadon, and this is going to make the fight way much more one-sided. Holy crap, Garmadon, yep, took him down, and I don't know what is going on. I just actually had Garmadon in my hands. Apparently I can hold him. That's actually something you can do in your scripting in the properties editor. You can uncheck a box that says can be held in the hands. So that's something I accidentally left checked on, but it's kind of interesting because if I hold him in my hands and go inside that shark mech, you can actually see his feet were kicking kind of over the top left corner. But anyway, the shark mech will show you what stamps we used in just a second, how to create that, but I want to show it in action and just how powerful the mech is in Scribblenauts. We'll just do a hostile monster. That'll be a good, wow, it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Here, let's have Garmadon go at it once more. I want to show you what he looks like with the sword in his hands. So here we go. The monster's taking him on, and wow, that actually was even much faster. So Garmadon with a katana in his hand is crazy powerful. Here, let me see. I'm going to compare it to the mech. Of course, we put the monster down and boom! The mech just takes it down in one hit. Holy monkeys. Okay, so let's put something else down. Samurai. Oh, I just put it in the street. Okay, here we go. So let's attack it. Boom. And that attack is actually, it explodes. So it actually hurt my mech a little bit, but it has so much life that it's all good. I barely took any damage. Here, something's got to be able to withstand this, right? We'll put down a strong beast, and nope! The strong beast is down in one hit as well. Kablam! It looks like this shark mech is just super OP. Maybe it should be, but you can edit that in your scripting and, in the properties. You can edit how much damage it does or how much health it has. I didn't really touch it too much for its scripting for this purpose. But here it is. The shark mech is on screen right here. We did start off with the mech as the source object. We kept those mech legs and the feet portions of the mech on. Right here, this little circular piece, I just took away the color of it, but it's that yellow and black striped circular piece. It goes down below the wing area for the arm of the mech. That color pattern is on the third page of the color pattern library right there, but that stamp was called a ramekin, just kind of a small glazed ceramic or glass bowl that you use for cooking. So that's what we use down there for that design aspect on the shark mech. And so this is looking good. There's a lot of other stamps though, like a rivet right here. I just moved the rivet aside, and we actually used the rivet also kind of near the tail, just before that last piece. I just took away the color right there. A charge card. You could probably also use a credit card to convey this last piece that I'm moving aside right there for the tail. Now there's also shark fins all over the place. We got the shark fin for the tail fins, but then there's a shark pup dorsal fin for that top dorsal fin of the mech right here. And moving aside a road hump, because the road hump is going to be for that like nose area of the shark mech. It's like it's got a shark's head there. And you can actually see as we moved that moss as well and this eyebrow down a little bit, the moss is for the teeth as well as some more of that nose part of the mech, but behind that is the mech window. So there's like a little window in there that's that bluish sort of color. That was a good piece of the mech that was already there that we can keep on it for the eye. And so Irish moss down below is for the teeth, kind of with that red rectangle. That's literally a rectangle painted red. A bow staff I actually use for this piece that I just moved. It's for the controls there up on the top on that seat. For the shark mech, you just kind of imagine that there are two of them there, like we're looking at this completely from the side view, horizontally. I moved a 0 and a 1 aside right now, and there's a G up there and an octopus piece because there's these speakers down below in that open area of the mech's body. So just where that 0 and 1 are, there are, it's a black speaker. So you just type in speakers and you can get that. This piece that I moved aside right there, the periscope, is an octopus. There's a tentacle piece of the octopus that can go right there. Painted black, of course. And this is looking pretty good. I think we covered most of it. I'm looking around, but yeah, the arm or fin piece, you know, that's where the arm of the mech is, just below that 0 and 1, that was lead. L-E-A-D. So again, my thanks to Brick101 for this collaboration. He made sure to give me a nice message over on his video. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's like my Scribble Ventures series, which you can also check out on this channel. I'm going to put links to everything in the description. But now that the video's over, go feel free to check out Brick's video if you haven't already. Let him know that Dr. Kendo sent you. And please, if you guys like content like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really helps me out. There's videos like this every Sunday. So yes, even though this was uploaded on Friday, there's going to be another video on Sunday, and I will catch you guys on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.
Down the road